Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Repetitions and Routine, day number 6. We are starting our second week, and today we have a very simple, not a lot of things going on workout. You need one heavy-ish, depending on what you're swinging, kettlebell. We're going to be doing squats, single leg deadlifts, and kettlebell swings. If you do not have a kettlebell, a dumbbell works totally fine. I will show you how to do both. We are going to start off on our backs though. So join me on your back on your mat. Hug both knees deep into your chest. Lift your head and shoulders. Just tuck in as tight as you can. Get your knees to squeeze together. And then just relax. Take some deep breaths. And then extend your right leg long. Hold that left knee in. Keep your head and shoulders up. And then switch to the other side. So we want to activate the core. We want to stretch that one leg long. We want to tuck that other knee in. Okay, this time after you tuck your knee in, go ahead and rest your other leg on the ground and twist. So put your left arm out on the ground, push your left knee over to the right. Inhale, kind of pull your knee up. Exhale, push it a little deeper. One more time. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, push a little deeper. And then we'll switch to the other side. Bring your right knee in. Exhale, twist it over. Put your right arm out. Whew. Feels good. Inhale, let the knee lift. Exhale, drop. Push it in a little deeper to the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push a little deeper. All right, we are going to go ahead and start off with glute bridges and crunches. Just 10 of each, 3 rounds through. So both feet on the ground. Set your feet so that your heels are going to be right underneath your knees. Push your low back into the ground to connect the core. From there, just lift the hips up. 10, 9, find those inner thighs. 7, but really dig those glutes. 5, especially that big portion, the glute, bottom of your butt cheek. 3, 2, and 1. Rest your back on the ground. Rest your head and hands. Exhale, lift. 1, 2. We're working both directions of the move. 3. Your head should be heavy in your hands. Scoop through the core. Push the low back into the ground. Feel like your whole rib cage is contracting and sucking in on itself. If you think about a balloon that's full, and then it deflates all the way, sinks in on itself all the way around. That's what we want to happen with the core, that rib cage. 9 and 10. All right, rest your head. Get into those glutes again. 10, 9. Really feel those glutes and the thighs wrap under, almost like a little corkscrew wrap. Your hips just barely kiss the ground. Tap, push back up. You're finding flexion and lock at the top of the push. And if you can think about it, this is a great time to kind of check in with what's going on with the hips. At the top of that push, that's what we want to feel at the top of our kettlebell swing. Last 2 and 1. Back to our crunches. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 2, 3. Strong and flexed. 5, 6. You're going for as much heat as possible. With glute bridges and crunches, you start with your own self flexions, isometric holds, contractions, and then work from there. 9 and 10. All right, back to our glute bridges. Push up, Make sure you're just opening your hip flexors and getting those glutes. So we don't want to overarch the back, right? You don't want to push too high so you have arch in your back. Just that connection, glutes and core, so that everything locks. And then that pelvis is neutral. So that big bony structure is neutral to the knees and the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1. Low back pushes into the ground. Exhale, lift. Make sure that you feel like you're scooping the belly, right? Not protruding. Chin stays tucked in. 8, 9, and 10. All right, good little warm up. Rock it on up. So we're going to be doing 20 squats, 10 single leg deadlifts, and then 20 swings. So let me show you what we're going to be doing with the dumbbell first. So your squat, you can kind of just decide what type of stance you would like. I'm going to just have a regular squat stance, so the feet just outside, the hips, toes straight ahead. Open your knees out to the pinky toe side of the foot, right? So a lot of times our knees want to fall in, and I want you to make sure that you've got them pulled out. And a lot of times to get that done, you really push into the heel and pull the toes out. Like you're trying to rip a piece of paper towel between your toes without your heels coming off the ground. So you pull your knees apart, chest stays up, and then you're going to sink down nice and deep. Elbows target to the knees, right? So you're trying to keep your chest lifted, and the first part of your squat is the butt going back, right? Drive up through the heels to get those glutes locked at the top. Okay, so we talked a little bit about our set stance. Your set stance is heels right under hips, right under shoulders. Okay, with your knees soft. So we don't want to lock out the knees. We want to keep the quads strong, dig into those heels, and keep your knees soft. All right, a single leg deadlift, you would hold your bell in your right hand. If you struggle with balance, feel free to grab a box or a chair or a wall, anything next to you for support. You can also use or hold the bell with both hands, your kettlebell or your dumbbell. It helps to have a spot on the floor that's not moving that you can keep track of. So I want you to open the shoulder blades down. Again, think of your stack, because we want to hold on to those kind of that concept of where everything is stacked as we're hinging. So if you're using the left foot for your balance leg, your right hand would hold the weight unless you're holding with both hands. So I want that left knee soft, chest is up. Go ahead and engage between the shoulder blades and grab your core. So what's going to happen is as you hinge forward, the back leg's going to come up. So they do not go separate from one another. Everything moves together. The back right leg should be flexed, your back should be flexed, and the core should be flexed. Soften and bend the supporting knee as much as you can, and then drive up out of the heel. So you hinge and then flex up, keeping your back flat. So keep in mind that the goal is not to touch the ground. So I see this happen a lot. Rounding, you hinge forward and then kick. That's not what we're doing. We're trying to find balance and support. You're going to feel that front leg, that supporting leg flex and build through the side, to the hamstring and the glute as you have that support and balance on it. All right, then we're going to go into swings. So biggest deal with a swing is that you keep your core strong and that you stop your swing in your stacked position, right? So a lot of times we get here, we bend our knees too much, we're not squatting. What we want to do is hinge the chest forward with a soft knee, so the bell just swings between. Your back stays flat, your glutes stay strong, core stays strong, and you're thrusting your hips forward. And that's what's shooting your arms up. Here, let's say that today you get to 3, 4, 5 swings and they just don't feel that awesome to you, or you're worried about it. Your low back starts chirping at you. Then I would like for you to just get rid of the weight, clip your thumbs, and work through the body movement. Okay, belly strong hinge and swing. Also, the tighter that your hamstrings are, the more difficult it's going to be to have a safe swing. Okay, so grab the core. No matter how heavy your bell is, you should always pretend and envision and imagine that it is much heavier, so that you have to have that support and strength from your back, your core, and your glutes. So toes straight ahead, shoulder blades slide down. Your first swing is from this position, right? So hinge back, use the momentum of the swing to get the bell forward, and then you set it back down. Everything's the same with your kettlebell. So make sure that the problem is, if you're light enough with your bell, you can kind of use just your body strength to lift the weight. And that's not what we want to do. We want to use full momentum. So you're winding up a spring and then shooting it forward. All right. So there we have it. I think we're ready to go. Belly locked in, shoulders back and down. Toes straight ahead. I'm going to go goblet squat. Here we go. Building that core on our legs today. Lots of volume. 10. Remember, we want to wrap the rib cage all the way around, just like we did with our crunches. Feel your whole body work. 19 and 20. But most everything is going to come out of those legs. All right. Good job. Twist through. We are going to facilitate super solid sets today by allowing ourselves some time between. Get a little recovery, get a little reset in. If you follow many legitimate kettlebell users, swingers, they do a lot of mental setup, not rushing into the move. And I think that we can learn from that and help develop. There's a lot of mental, physical connection that is really good to be built when doing any sort of exercise. But I think it's just next level with those kettlebells. All right, here we go. Single leg deadlifts. Pack your back. Make sure that one toe is straight ahead. Lift the chest. So find the four corners of that supporting foot. We want to try to keep the hips and shoulders as level as we can to the ground, squared off once we're in that hinged forward position. Don't worry if you're wobbling all over the place. These were pretty tough for me to get going with when I first started. So take some time to build strength, build balance, especially depending on the size of weight that you're using. All right, here we go. Pack in, get everything lined up, open the chest, grab the core. Find your hamstring, find your glute. Flex your back leg, point your toe toward the ground. Double check your core. Double check your back. Keep that back flexed. 10. Perfect. All right. Set your elbows on your knees. Open your chest and round. If you're feeling your low back at all, that's your body telling you that you need to grab more core. So support more with the core. You can try going a little lighter weight as well. All right, I think we're ready for our swings. A couple deep breaths. Toes straight ahead. Remember, you want to envision that the bell is much heavier than it is. Belly strong. Flex into the legs already. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5. Pop those hips. Locking them into place. Just a little bend in the knees. Get that chest hinged forward, strong back. 18, 19, 20, done. 20-ish. Somewhat lost count. All right. Come down to the ground. Hands and knees. Let's go to cat-cow. Then hinge back into your child's pose. Well done. All right, let's hit up set 2. Squats are first. That's it. 3 exercises. Get everything set. As I said, I think not rushing is extremely effective for actually a much better workout. Sometimes we push so fast into the next set, and while sometimes that is good for intensity, we lose form, the power from really setting in. Find that it's easier to cheat rush your way through. Lock the belly. 15. Remember, we want those knees line with toes. And 20. Perfect. Hinge over those legs. Push onto your calves. That'll help stretch out your back. Shift side to side. Whatever else feels good. Maybe sitting down feels good. All right. I'm going to start on my second side this time. Our single legs. Toes straight ahead. Flex into your back, your core. Hinge forward. Track your knee and toe. Super healthy to get on one leg. 4, 5. Lengthen the chest, lengthen the back. Push through that glute. How much core can you grab? 9 and 10. Here we go. Square it off. Build that strength and balance. 8. Where's that core? Lengthen the back. 10. Hopefully that makes sense. Lengthening the back. In fact, we'll just work on it a second. Plant your hands on your knees. Lengthen, right? So if you hunker in, get everything rounded and closed, you're missing so much flexion, upper back and core. So as you're hinging, as you're squatting, as we're swinging, lengthen the back. Feel like you're pulling from the base of your skull to your tailbone, lengthening. All right, hinge over those legs again, twist, and then we'll do a couple standing cat-cows. Elbows on your knees, open the chest, and round. Open and round. Okay, time to swing. Set up. Get that focus. Toes straight ahead. Still want those knees to be lining with toes. You should be feeling lots of core, upper back. Use momentum. Here we go. Lock into the glutes and the hips as opposed to the knees. Those quads. Really grab. 16. All right. Feels good. Go ahead and hit the ground. Quick child's pose. 2 sets in. Drive your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Walk it in. All right, let's go with those squats. Toes straight ahead. Lock the core. Lift the chest. Here we go. Exhale as you press up. Feel free to play around with your pace. Does it feel better? Slow down. Better, speed up. Better means, how do you like it? 18, 19, 20. Good work, good work. Take your little break. Facilitate. Solid. Next set. All right. Flat back, strong core, chest lifted. Remember, we want that long back, long spine. Open chest. Roll those shoulders back. 10. Twist it out. Here we go. Second side. Again, decide what feels like a better flexion. Slow it down or speed it up. Decide what works for you, your body mechanics. Maybe you don't have access to heavy weight, so your reps can run a little faster. So get a couple more. Not sure where we're at. We'll go 3 more. 2, 1. Elbows down. Open the chest and round. Open and round. Check in. How do you feel? Feel good. Good. Steady heart rate. It's up there, but not through the roof. My whole posterior chain, so everything along the backside of my body, is feeling very engaged, very flexed. Low back feels awesome. I hope you're in the same boat. Face you this round. Change it up. Something new. Okay, let's hit those swings. Lock the core. 10. Power. 19. 20. Oh, yes. Feels good. All right. Hinge over those legs again. Walk your hands out. Downward facing dog. Slide those shoulder blades down. Grab through the belly. Pull the chest forward. We're going to hit one more set. Push back into your child's pose. All right, hop up. Squats first. Good. Toes straight ahead. Belly nice and strong. Knees out with toes. Really work to stay in the moment. 6, think about where you're getting, what you're building. 14. Belly strong. Drive through those heels. Lift that chest. Last one. 20. All right. Single leg deadlifts. If your left leg's on the ground, right hand holds the bell. Here we go. Point that toe to the ground. 6, line your knee and toe. 9, and 10. Little shifts. Set it up. Ooh. There we go. Flex. Lengthen that back. Check in with your core. Remember, it's okay if you're falling all over the place. It's actually good. Your body's responding. 9 and 10. 10. All right, standing cat-cow. Open chest. Round the back. All right, here we go. Twenty. Super good swings. Lock those hips into place. Stack your back up. Top of the hips. 15. Nice job. All right. 4 rounds. I think we should be proud. Bring your right leg forward. Let's stretch that back hip flexor. That hip flexor open. Lots of space. Should feel fatigued, yet strong. Hinge back. Definitely got those hamstrings going today. We're just going to hit up our trifecta stretch. Hip flexor, hamstring, and pigeon. If pigeon doesn't work for you, go ahead and switch to your other side. Hip flexor, hamstring, and then you can do a figure 4 stretch from the ground. Of course, always feel free to go back through or hold these longer. I find it's effective to do both. There's some research out there says no more than 20 to 30 seconds of stretching is necessary or makes much difference. I actually feel in my body different. So all of us are a little different, I feel. Stretching throughout the day would be a wonderful routine to build in. All right, hip flexor other side. So as you recall, or if you recall, we are working on building routines, healthy routines, bring into our everyday. Maybe you haven't figured out a routine yet. That's fine. Start just by recognizing what routines you already have. Your waking up routine. Do you wake up and immediately make the bed, or immediately check your phone, or immediately grab your coffee? What sort of routines do you have when you first get to work or when you get your first kid up? All right, and then your pigeon. So just recognize maybe the routines that you have And then you can decide if they're good, if they're healthy, if they're beneficial, if they're efficient. So you could also adjust your current routines, make sure they're working well, benefiting you how you want. All right. That's probably my favorite workout we've had so far. Love just needing that power, get through the swings, the squats, go heavy, not a lot to think about, just working it over and over and over again. All right. Good job, everybody. I will see you very soon.